we're back. Did you have a great lunch? I hope so. This afternoon, we have Chapter Treasurer training with State Treasurer Jane Harvey and State Assistant Treasurer Deanna Cochran. They'll be followed by How to Form a Junior American Citizenship Club in Your Area with Ginger Hass, JAC State Chair. Our last workshop will be presented by Darlene Dowdy, who is our State Tours Chair. She will be telling you all about the upcoming 2021 bus tour to Washington, D.C. for the 130th Continental Congress.
Ladies, welcome to the 2020 Treasurer's Workshop. In preparation for the workshop, a packet of information was sent to each chapter treasurer's email address. It contains notes, tips, and tools that chapter treasurers need. So if you are your chapter's treasurer and have not received this information, please let us know as soon as possible. I'm Jane Harvey, your state treasurer.
And I'm Deanna Cochran, Assistant State Treasurer.
We work as a team and are available to help you with your chapter's financial records in any way that we can. Please do not hesitate to email or telephone us if you need us. This is an outline of the basic responsibilities of a chapter treasurer. We will review these today, and there are notes in your packet to help with these responsibilities. Chapter dues. Your chapter should have a finance committee and to prepare the budget for your chapter, and the treasurer is part of that committee. Our South Carolina DAR website is password protected. The current password is Patriot 2020 with a hashtag or #, with a capital P on that Patriot. For security reasons, the password will change from time to time, so contact your chapter regent if you find the password isn't working. She will have the latest password. It's very important that if you've not already done so, you must secure your personal password for e-membership. Everything you need for submitting your chapter dues to National is contained in e-membership. Your chapter regent can assist with this. Please assemble a treasurer's library for your chapter in a 3-ring binder or filing system of your choice to include the guide for chapter treasurers. The state remittance form, keep several copies on hand for sending monies to state treasurer. Chapter dues and fees control sheets. This is to transfer members, bring in extra members as they come in during the year. Donations and contributions for special committees and funds form is found on the National website. Keep a calendar with deadlines for payments, dues, financial reports, and tax dates. Please download the guide for chapter and state treasurers from the Treasurer General's forms on the DAR National website and keep it in your computer. The live links will be helpful as you step through the duties. Quickly to show you, you can access the guide for chapter and state treasurers by going to the member resources pages at www.org. Members only section. State and chapter finances is what you'll select, and that takes you to the link. This page gives you a list of the valuable information at your fingertips. The blue titles are links to full information on chapter and internal finances, conflicts of interest, fully explained and very important, contributions to and by nonprofit organizations, tax exemption and relations with the IRS, and webinars. Collection of dues. The treasurer should work with the regent and other officers during due season. This job should not fall on the treasurer alone. It's an opportunity to reach out to members and make them feel like they are part of this viable organization. The dues invoicer is ready in August. but some chapters begin the process of collecting dues in the spring before summer break. This year, there is no change in the cost of national or state dues. Chapter dues are set by the individual chapter. Collecting dues. All dues must be postmarked to national no later than December the 1st. Failure to submit dues before December the 1st has repercussions for your chapter members. After December 1, they can no longer resign. They cannot transfer during the next steps, and they cannot represent the chapter at Continental Congress. And collecting national dues. Use your e-membership sign-on to access the chapter invoicer. The information will be current through August 1st of 2020. The invoicer will automatically tally the chapter's dues total. Once finalized, the electronic invoice will automatically be updated at national. Print a copy of the final version and keep it in your permanent chapter files. Mail a check to the National Society for the total dues before December 1st, or submit your payment online with direct payment. To access the National Dues invoice on e-membership, select the Reports tab, select Dues Invoice Reports, select Open Dues Invoicer, select Download Dues Invoicer, and you're ready to go. Sometimes it's the simple things we forget. Here is the proper payee for your chapter dues, Treasurer General and SCDAR. Direct payment option enables chapter to make electronic payments to the SCDAR. This means the chapter will be able to make payments to DAR without the need of a written check or credit card. Chapter will incur at a one-time 50-cent charge when an account is set up or changed in direct payments. Again, you'll sign on to e-membership, choose Updates, select Chapter Direct Payments, click the green View button beside your chapter's name, click the Edit button to set up your banking information. And from this screen, you just read through the instructions. At the bottom, enter your name, and then click the Submit and Continue button. Fill in the bank information, have your chapter checkbook handy for reference to enter the numbers, the tracking numbers that you will need for that. Bank name is the name of the bank in which your chapter's checking account is kept. Account name can be what you choose, something like chapter checking account, or you can enter the routing number and bank account numbers. You just choose what you want in there. Enter those numbers in the fields and again, confirm the fields. Click your Update, and remember that chapters will be charged a one-time 50-cent charge when setting up this account. You will then be taken back to the chapter bank account information page. Once your account information has been validated, your direct payment status on this page will say active. If it is not yet validated, it will say pending validation. Please allow 30 days for this process. This needs to be done as soon as possible. Do not wait till October to try to set this up. Once your direct payment account is active, there will be a Pay with Direct Payments green button available on the Dues Invoicer. Click that button to pay your dues online from your chapter checking account. Payments made through this system are drawn from a chapter checking account within a week, but chapter and members are credited on the day that the chapter initiates the payment. Your state dues. We use a 2-page state remittance form when sending money to the state treasurer. This form is on the treasurer's page of our website. It is a 2-page form, and we'll give you a screenshot of the treasurer's page in the members only section of our DAR website. All forms are posted on this page for you to download as you need them. The correct payee for South Carolina dues is the SCDAR treasurer. State dues are $10 per member. Same deadline applies as for national. They must be postmarked by December 1st. A member may not resign, transfer, or represent at state conference if state dues are late. Here is an enlargement of Section 1 of the state remittance form, which is used for our state dues. On all state dues remittances, a copy should be maintained for chapter records, and the originals are sent to the state treasurer with the check. All dues collection for any person becoming a new member January through June, dues are for the current year, not for the upcoming year. For any person becoming a new member July through December, state dues for the upcoming calendar year are for this year and not for the current year. They're for the upcoming year, not for the current year. Donations and other remittances, you'll use Section 2 for state projects and activities. The chapters per member assessment for the President General's project is $7 for the administration, or $2.33 per year. Your original goes to the state treasurer, and you keep a copy for the chapter records. In Section 2, here is where you enter donations to the state projects, including the State Regents Project. That is a $4 per administration, or $1.33 per member per year. New this year, Section 4 provides an area for your chapter to contribute to the Helen Pouch Memorial Fund to support our DAR schools, classroom grants, and special projects as selected by our junior membership. Chapter achievement. For a chapter to receive credit for chapter achievement, the chapter must use Part 5 of the state remittance form. The money is due to the state treasurer by December the 1st. Funds must be received by that date. Late submissions are automatically disqualified from receiving chapter achievement awards. Chapter achievement donations are a total of $100 per chapter. This is a minimum amount. If your chapter wishes to give more, it certainly supports the goals and programs of our DAR under historic programs and funds, education programs, patriotic programs, membership programs and funds. A good place to support our national group. The chapter achievement donations must be entered in Section 4 of the state remittance form, and they must be received by December the 1st. There are no exceptions to this. This is from national as well as from our state bylaws. The President General's fund will use Section 5 of this form. This is for the per capita chapter donations only. Number of members is calculated on your chapter's membership on January 1st of the first year of the current PG's administration. So January 2020 began the Van Buren administration for this purpose, and chapter members are posted now for your chapter in e-membership. If you need help with those numbers, let me know, but this is how you find them. You access the President General's project on e-membership, go to reports, and you select the PG project 100% status, select the green button to view your report. Your chapter's information will display how much has been sent in and how much your chapter owes. Life members will be indicated. As you know, National pays that for us as benefits of a life membership. As you already know, this year we're encouraged to complete our chapter's donations to the President General's Fund by December the 1st, 2020, so we can welcome and greet our President General at Spring Conference 2021 with South Carolina chapters contributing 100% to her project. Donations and other remittances. Special national committees and funds, for example, the Friends of Junior Membership. We make donations and other remittances on the donations contribution form. This must be used for all donations and contributions for special committees and funds for the National Society. Send the check and form directly to National. This is used for all individual donations and contributions to President General's projects made by individuals, to Friends and special national projects. especially when the donor wishes to purchase a pen recognizing her contribution. Again, you send that directly to the Office of Development at National. And it is available on the National Members Only site, and here is that form. It's donations and other remittances. Keep a copy for chapter records and send funds and form to the Office of Development at National. And Deanna Cochran will now take us through the next part of our presentation.
Thank you, Jane. We will start off by looking at the budget. The budget is one of the most important things that you will do for your chapter. In starting the budget process, you will look at last year's information and then carry it forward to the following year. On display is the budget template. You will take your members, the number of members you have, the number of associate members, the number of new members you anticipate, and if you have an application fee for your chapter. The next step is to take the donations that you will be receiving from individual members, and that will give you your total income. The next step is to do the mandatory disbursements, and these are disbursements such as the President General's Project, the magazine ad, the State Regents Project, and the chapter achievement. And then you will take your awards and programs that you want to give to for the year. If you want to make a donation to the SCDAR, what your projects are for Constitution Week, ROTC medals, and that sort of information. And then you will take the other disbursements, which are your general operations. And then you will come down and you will get your total disbursements and take that from your total income, and that will give you your income over disbursements. The goal for the budget is to do a zero budget or else have additional income, but never go in the negative. The next slide is the IRS 990N postcard, which must be filed. If the organization is a small tax-exempt organization, which most chapters are, and the gross receipts are $50,000 or less. The IRS 990N is due by the 15th day of the 5th month after the close of the chapter's fiscal year. For example, if the fiscal year ends on the 31st of December, the filing is due by May 15th. Filing must be done online. There is no mailing in of the form. Everything is electronic. And the website address will be in your packet. Once you get into the website, you have to have a login and a password. And you complete the 990 postcard with the information stated. Your identification number, tax year, legal name and address, any other names the organization uses, confirmation that the organization's annual gross receipts are $50,000 or less. There's also a user guide to help you through. Now there are several chapters that are not qualified to file the 990N because their gross receipts are over $50,000. Those chapters will file a 990EZ or regular 990. After you file, you have to print a copy for your files. You will not receive a confirmation email. Keep a copy for chapter records and send a copy to me, the Assistant State Treasurer, Deanna Cochran, at the same time of filing. The next form that has to be filed is the South Carolina Secretary of State filing for exempt charity. What are the statutory exemptions from registration? The following are not required to file registration statements with the Secretary of State. A charitable organization which does not intend to solicit or receive contributions from the public, which means also chapter donations from members in excess of $20,000. An organization which solicits exclusively from its membership. Most chapters are exempt from registration. However, you must file the form. So does an exempt organization have to file anything with the Secretary of State? Yes. An exempt organization must file an application for exemption with the Secretary of State on an annual basis. Applications for exemption are due 4.5 months after the close of the charitable organization's fiscal year. There is no fee associated with the filing. It is very important to remember if at any time the organization no longer qualifies for an exemption, it must immediately register as a charitable organization. This is the form that has to be filed to be exempt. Now, there are several chapters that will not qualify for this because they are not exempt, and they will have to file a registration. And those are chapters that have income of over $20,000. In order for an organization to be a 501c3, which is what the DAR chapters are, they must follow the following steps. Send a timely written receipt to any donor who contributes $250 or more. So at the end of the year, end of your year, if someone has contributed more than $250, then you have to send them a receipt for their goods and services that they provided. You have to keep thorough board meeting minutes and maintain accurate books and records. And you have to adopt a conflict of interest policy. The national website has a conflict of interest form which you can download from their site. At the end of your fiscal year, you also have to file a statement of financial position. The statement of financial position is a summary of the chapter's beginning balance, chapter's income and disbursements, and the ending balance. It is the chapter's balance sheet. This is a form that has to be filed to the state at the end of your year. The statement of financial position must be filed with the treasurer, the state treasurer. Send the original to the state assistant treasurer at the end of your chapter's year, and a copy should be maintained for chapter records. Also on the national site is a sample statement of financial position to use for board reporting. That can be downloaded from the national site. Many times, chapter treasurers are asking about retention of records. Per the SCDAR guidelines, they have on their site, and I have included it here, examples of what can be kept for various years. Retain the following records for 3 years, such as bank statements, canceled checks, miscellaneous internal reports. For 7 years, invoices, expense records, revenue records. Permanently, you should keep your tax returns, annual financial statements, any property records, your minute books, any audit reports. A good resource for information is the Facebook DAR Chapter Treasurers Forum. So if you want to post any kind of questions that you might have, then the Chapter Treasurer Forum is the place that you want to do that. Everybody will, chime in with what their experiences have been. TechSoup.org. Join TechSoup for software and hardware needs. The NSDAR is a qualified nonprofit for TechSoup. Therefore, chapters are eligible. Chapters can apply online. You have to register at TechSoup.org to be a qualified organization. For instance, you can buy QuickBooks Online for $50 annual fee and QuickBooks Desktop for $50 annual fee. Thank you for joining us for this Treasurer's Workshop, and here's our contact information.
Our State Regent, Libby Billum, has put forth a memorable project for her administration that will ensure a lasting legacy for our state society while encouraging our daughters' hearts unite in service. I hope you will join me in purchasing a Christmas ornament to help fund her project. There are 3 beautiful designs that would add sparkle to your own tree or be a perfect gift for a loved one. Be sure to ask your chapter regent about how to purchase these items. Thank you for supporting our State Regent and her project.
Citizens Workshop. I'm Ginger Hass, the South Carolina State Chair for JAC, here in the Patriot Room in the Education Center at Tomasi DAR School. The Tomasi After School program will begin here in September, with 2 JAC club groups meeting once or twice a month. The 1st through 5th graders will be one club, and the middle schoolers in grades 6 through 8 will meet later in the afternoon. We have our own library of American history books, historical fiction, books on colonial dress and food, and biographies of patriots, presidents, and first ladies. On the other walls, we have pictures of George Washington, copies of the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, as well as a Revolutionary War battle scene and a scene of the Patriots signing the Constitution. We also have a poster of the new Junior American Citizens Values, which will be a part of each of our meetings after we say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. At our second meeting on September 17, the children will participate in a program on the Constitution, and each will have a bell to ring for Constitution Day. Already this fall, I know of 7 JAC clubs that will be meeting in South Carolina. In Sumter County, there will be a private school club, a public school club, and a homeschool co-op group, all sponsored by the Sumter's Home chapter. Besides the 2 after-school groups at Tomasi, a new homeschool co-op group is forming in our county and has asked me to lead their JAC club. This probably sounds like a huge undertaking, but Linda Hawkins of Sumter's Home Chapter and I are both quick to assure you that you can use the same program for multiple clubs with just a few adjustments if the age groups are different. Walhalla Chapter also sponsored a homeschool group of military families that lived in Kuwait last year. They formed a co-op group, asked for help, and I sent them lots of emails to help them get started. The 12 children decided on a service project and entered several of the JAC contests, winning 4 first-place medals at National in 4 categories. The leader's family is waiting now at their home at Edisto for the go-ahead to join their dad in Korea. Plans are in the works to have JAC wherever they are this fall. The goal of Junior American Citizens is to teach children American history and heritage, patriotism, good citizenship, and service. Just remember, there are no rules about how often a club must meet, and no qualifications or required lineage for membership.
The PowerPoint will give you some ideas about what you can accomplish with a Junior American Citizens Club and how to get started. The national page, where you can find the Junior American Citizen Committee, says that all chapters are encouraged to assist schools and youth groups such as Scout Troops, Children of the American Revolution Societies, and service organizations in forming JAC clubs. The 4th and 5th graders at Thomas Sumter Academy meet once a month after school. Their elected officers lead the club in the opening ritual and introduce the program. Every meeting begins with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Junior American Citizen Values. The students meet with their city mayor, who signed a proclamation declaring Constitution Week in Sumter. He talked to the children about the Constitution and the historic building where they met. The state horse of South Carolina is the marsh tacky. The children love for Molly Marsh Tacky to come to their campus, and they learn about how these little horses helped the American colonies during the Revolution. For their annual Jeopardy game, the children study a history topic in advance of playing on a team. They answer oral questions on their team slate. This is great fun and educational too. The topic last year was George Washington. Children love to march in parades, and what a great way to show their patriotism. This slide shows you that every JAC club meeting does not have to happen in a school. This is part of the homeschool group in Kuwait. The girls were making cookies, which they gave to some of the soldiers on the nearby base. The fall of the year is an exciting time for children to participate in the contest. The National Committee Chair announces the theme in the summer. You might want to have a short teaching time about the historical event to help the children prepare for what they want to design. They can make an original stamp design, a poster, a banner, a photo essay, or write a poem or short story. The rules are important. Entries must be received by me, the state chair, by January the 1st. Award certificates are given at chapter, state, district, and national levels. The theme for last year was the 19th Amendment's 100th anniversary. Here are two examples of postage stamps. The one on the left was designed and made by an elementary school child. The one on the left was done by a girl in high school. This is an example of a poster which won first prize. The collage was made by cutting apart printouts of the 19th Amendment, which the young lady studied before she made her design. A banner can be made by a group of 3 to 5 students. All of the work in a photo essay must be done by the student. This was a beautiful example of how a mother and a daughter influence each other in their strengths. The teenager says she is strong and she wants to be a graphic designer. Her mother is a yoga instructor and a Marine Corps veteran. And then there is a quote from one of the famous suffragists. The 2020-21 contest theme is the 400th anniversary of the Mayflower. Rise and shine for new opportunities in a new land. You can find so much information in the members section of the DAR webpage. Go to committees, scroll down to Junior American Citizens Committee, and you will find the committee home with history of the JAC, how you can participate, and all kinds of other things. On the right, if you click on Contest Instructions, you will find what you need to know in order to get your students started in competing. You'll also find contest guidelines, all the rules, and you want to follow them. Also on this page, if you look over on the right, you will see where you can click on Forms. There are many forms that you will want to print out to help you get your club started. There is also a JAC logo, which you can use on any of the papers that you send out. Well, let's get started. If you want to have a Junior American Citizen Club sponsored by your chapter, you need to find a group, a school, a scout troop, a homeschool group, Children of the American Revolution group, or even part of your family. Does someone in your chapter teach school, or substitute at a school, or is a retired school teacher? That's often how you will get your foot in the door. Perhaps some of your ladies have children who are in scout troops or a homeschool group. You have to look for ways that where you can find children to work with. Reach out and make those contacts. You'll want to download the forms from the SCDAR website. It's very important once you start your club to send in your South Carolina JAC registration form. You will find it on the SCDAR webpage. Send that form to me so that I can connect you with other JAC ladies who have clubs, and we can share ideas, and also I will know to expect possibly that you will have contest entries being sent in before the 1st of January. Once you have a group to work with, plan your meetings and programs, and most of all, have fun. If you have questions or concerns, please contact me for help. Register your Junior American Citizen Club with the form on the South Carolina DAR webpage, and stay in touch. Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon, ladies. I am Robin Wilson. I am the chapter regent of the Hobkirk Hill chapter in Camden, South Carolina. And I am here today with my very good friend, Linda Hawkins. And I'm going to see if she can convince me to go on the bus tour to Continental Congress 2021. I have never been to Continental Congress, and I feel that it is something that I need to do soon. But let's see if she can talk me into going next year. So tell me, Linda, why are you excited about attending Continental Congress 2021, apart from being able to finally get out of the house?
There certainly are a lot of reasons why I'm excited about all that. For one thing, it was canceled last year, and so it's really going to be good to get to go back. We also get to stay at the Willard. Usually we do that almost every year anyway, and so that's always a plus. But it's no different this year. We're going to be there at that beautiful Willard, and I'm particularly excited because of the location. This year, it's just the first year in several years that the headquarters, I'm sorry, not the headquarters, but the host hotel is back at the Marriott, which is right across the street from the Willard. And that means that we can actually attend all of these events except at the hall just by walking. So that's kind of exciting. We get lots of exercise that way. Great location, good food, headquarters is nearby. Lots of shopping, that's always good. And we get lots of exercise, so you can't get much better than that.
What are some of the events and activities that you like best?
For one thing, it gives us a chance to dress up formal. I feel like a little girl dressing up in her mama's clothes again. You know, we really don't get a lot of opportunity to dress up formal. And I love that part of it. It's lots of fun. I wouldn't want to do it 24 hours a day, but it's fun the way we do. Love the luncheons, and there's so many that people can pick from. The daughters can pick from. The worst part of that is that there are too many things going on at the same time, and you're only one person. I particularly like working the Tomasi table. That's a lot of fun. You get to see a lot of people, and I know that the money that we're making is going to our school, to some of our new programs. Once again, you can tell I like to shop because I keep talking about that, but this one is special. Right there at the hall, there are so many vendors in the vendor area on 2 floors. Well, there are quite a few of them, and I could list some of them from memory, but I won't try to do that. My favorite is the antique jewelry. There's a wonderful shop there with antique jewelry, and I make it a point to get some little thing from there every single year to add to my collection. So that's that's a lot of fun. And the DAR gets a portion of every sale, so we also feel as if we're helping. I like the fast pace. You know, I'm one of those got to be moving people, and believe me, there's plenty to get involved with. In fact, I think Continental Congress is the best place to serve as an example of that little saying that we've all heard, which is DAR equals dress and run, because that is absolutely the truth. But if you do it, you'll make it. But for those of you that don't really care about a fast pace, that's the good thing too. That's another good thing about it, is it's very individual. You can individualize, and that means that you can opt for a slower pace if you want to. So that's just a few. I could go on and on, but I won't do that. Give me another question.
Linda, you're a trip veteran, so what are the benefits of me taking the bus?
I think the number one advantage to making your trip by being part of the South Carolina delegation on the bus is that we actually do bond as a group. And it doesn't matter whether we've all known each other for years and years or whether we're new. And of course, there are always lots of new people each year, which is wonderful. By the time you've spent 7 hours together going up, 7 hours coming back, then you really get to know each other pretty well. I think one of the major advantages is that our newbies, and we were all newbies at one point, our newbies, by the time they arrive in DC, they don't feel like newbies anymore. So we try to make sure that they're very comfortable, and I think that's a great thing. Our group arrives at the Willard. We're always treated as a group. The Willard people treat us wonderfully. I'm sure that they want everyone to know that they're welcome, but they do treat the South Carolina delegation very specially, and they get to where they can actually identify us as a group. So that's a lot of fun. Actually, I kind of find this whole experience kind of like going off to camp, because we load up our clothes and we get to see each other in all of our not grungy clothes, but our very informal clothing. And we get together and we chat and we talk about what's coming up and meeting new roommates and the camaraderie. And you can't get that if you drive or fly. You're just missing out on so much of what I think the trip is really all about. One other thing that often happens, and I know of one personal experience there, we have time to share good ideas. The Steel Magnolias were actually, that organization was actually born on the way back on the Continental Congress bus, on the South Carolina bus tour 10 years ago. And we all know how successful that was. But that was a brainchild that was hatched on a bus trip. Had we been driving and not been together, it might never exist today. I'd also like to add that one of the things that makes our bus trip very, very special is the wonderful organization, the way everything is handled by our bus general, Darlene, and our, let's see, I think she's a vice general or something like that, and that's Carolyn. They handle everything so beautifully. All we have to do is just go and enjoy. We don't have to worry about our luggage. Everything is taken care of beforehand, and it's just wonderful. We get comments from other states about the way our bus and our whole trip is handled, and some of them are very jealous. But we're not going to let them steal our general and her assistant.
So I guess you're recommending the trip in 2021?
Absolutely, unequivocally. And I think from my whole attitude toward this trip, I think you can probably tell that. Everyone can tell that. It's a great experience. And I do speak from experience. I have been 11 years. I went 11 years in a row to Continental Congress. And the only reason I didn't go 12 is because they canceled last year. So let's hope 2021 makes 12. And so I have a lot of those experiences, and I do speak favorably or excitedly because I really feel that way. Going on the buses is having fun. Another reason, and I hope some of the daughters out there will think about this, by traveling together, I've really gotten to know my daughter. We're both daughters of South Carolina, of course, and we've gotten to know each other as adult friends, not just mother and daughter. And so I found that that's a nice experience for that, because when we travel other ways, one of us is driving, and you just don't have the time to get us close and see another side. I hope she sees she gets to see my I hope, fun side, and I get to see her serious side. So it's kind of nice. We almost swap roles sometimes, but everybody gets to know each other. Whether you have a daughter or a granddaughter, which I highly recommend this trip together, that would be great. But whether or not, you get to know your old friends as well as make new ones. And again, I highly recommend it. Can't go wrong.
So, Linda, I know you've attended Continental Congress many times. What has been your favorite memory?
One of my favorite memories from a bus trip, there's so many, it's kind of hard to decide. I know, it has to be the one from 2018, the trip 2 years ago, because we had a very special guest on board. That was Miss Eliza, the South Carolina National Junior Doll for 2018. It was so exciting to have her on board, and she got to greet all the ladies that were on the bus, and she got passed back and forth, and just everyone made such a big deal out of her. It was fun loading all of her things. You see, Eliza chose to go by bus. She didn't go by flight, and she didn't go by car. She went on the bus, and she never regretted it. We loaded her things up, and we were so sad because we were not looking forward to coming back without her, because we just knew her new owners would be somewhere else besides South Carolina. Well, lo and behold, we all know what happened there, and that was that the Eliza Lucas Pinckney chapter here in South Carolina actually won her, and so Eliza got to come home, and the ladies were so excited to welcome her back on board. So I think that's probably at least one of my very favorite memories.
Well, Linda, I'm thinking about going, but I'd like to know more.
You need to do it. You need to do it at least once. One of the reasons you need to really go to Continental Congress is once you see that huge American flag that comes down from you're sitting there, and especially as a newbie, you're sitting there looking around wondering what's coming, and that huge American flag sweeps down and sweeps over everybody's head, and the band's playing, and you feel this overwhelming pride and patriotism and excitement, and and you know what DAR is really all about. So I think everyone should come join the bus trip and see for yourself.
Well, Linda, I think you've convinced me. Ladies, I'll be seeing you on the 2021 Continental Congress bus tour. Have a good afternoon.
The Children of the American Revolution is celebrating 125 years of patriotic support to our country this year. Lindsay Yawn is the new SCDAR state president, and her project is Kids Helping Veteran Families by raising funds to transport families to the Ralph H. Johnson VA Medical Center in Charleston, and to provide hotel lodging and accommodations to veteran families when the Fisher House of Charleston is at full capacity. Would you like to contribute to this effort? Please contact David Smith, Senior State SCDAR Treasurer, at the email address below about making a donation in support of our CARs and the work that they are doing to train tomorrow's leaders today.
Welcome back. I would like to thank all of the women that served as facilitators for our workshops. Thank you, Beverly, Joan, Alice, Mickey, Jane, Deanna, Ginger, and Darlene for these outstanding presentations. Daughters, all of the workshops have been pre-recorded and are accessible to you on our state members only website. So if you missed any or you want to refer to them when you have a question, you have the opportunity to view them when you wish. Now I have some great news to share with you. On Saturday morning, tomorrow, at 10 o'clock a.m., we will have a live Zoom meeting where you will have the opportunity to meet and greet our Treasurer General, Dawn Limoncello. Go and log on to the state website under the virtual conference menu to get the Zoom link information. It will be lots of fun, and we will all have some great face-to-face time together. So bring your cup of coffee or your favorite beverage and join us. So we see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your evening.